Rob Walker here. Ladies and gentlemen, I am incredibly excited and frustrated in equal measure. I'm very excited because January 1st heralded the return of BBC's Sherlock with Series 3. Yes! And I'm frustrated because we here in the United States will not get to see Sherlock Series 3 premiere until the 19th of January. Boo! You see, I have been a Sherlock Holmes fan since the 5th grade when I checked out this book, this exact book from my school library. The Boys' Book of Great Detective Stories, edited by Howard Haycraft. The very first story I read in this book was The Adventure of the Speckled Band by Arthur Conan Doyle. This is the very first Sherlock Holmes story I ever read, and it had a profound effect on me and turned me into a Holmesian immediately. Or is that Sherlockian? Maybe Sherlockians are the name for people who only like the BBC show. They might be interchangeable. Regardless, I like the literary character and I like his iterations throughout all different kinds of media. Not every iteration, but I enjoy the character as a whole. So from that point on, I became a huge Sherlock Holmes fan. All my friends know this about me. My friend Steve got me this pipe from the Sherlock Holmes Museum in London. Makes me kind of look distinguished, doesn't it? My friend and editor at Nerd Reactor, Laura, got me this music box from the Sherlock Holmes Museum in London. It plays a lovely, creepy version of Für Elise by Beethoven. And my wife, a couple years ago, for our anniversary, got me this print of a theatrical performance by William Gillette as Sherlock Holmes. It was his farewell performance. So all this to say, I am a huge Sherlock Holmes fan, and I have to wait to the 19th to watch Series 3, which seems really unfair, because without America, you wouldn't have Sherlock Holmes. I know some of you are thinking, oh no, he didn't. And here's why. In 1841, Murders in the Rue Morgue by Edgar Allan Poe was published. This is the short story credited for creating detective fiction. Murders in the Rue Morgue featured everything we've come to know from Sherlock Holmes. The amateur armchair detective, the narrator best friend, the collection of evidence, and even introducing the idea that an animal can commit murder. This idea in particular has gone on to influence two Sherlock Holmes stories, Snake and Hound. So there you have it. Without American Edgar Allan Poe, you would not have detective fiction, and without detective fiction, you certainly wouldn't have Sherlock Holmes. You're welcome, England. Which means that you owe me, BBC! Actually, that's not true. My apologies for the outrage and fan entitlement. Without England, there probably wouldn't be America, so we're almost even. I can wait until the 19th. Thank you everyone for letting me geek out about Sherlock Holmes. If you're a Sherlockian or a Holmesian and want to geek out too, leave comments. I'll definitely answer them. I'm a huge fan of the show and the character. Also, if you have any interest whatsoever in reading my writings about Sherlock Holmes, I'll link to some of my Nerd Reactor articles in the description. Thank you for watching. This is Rob Walker saying, once you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, must be the truth. Isn't that terrifying?